all, welcome to Billionaire. This is RP here, recording video on 10th of July 2022. So we are going to check Nifty's move for the next week. We will first use indicators, then we'll do the analysis with Elliott Wave, and after that we'll check with option chain what is happening on the Nifty for the next week. So before we go forward with our analysis, let's review what we discussed on a previous week and how it went. So in previous week we were here, okay, with this hammer candle. After that we mentioned that we would move toward 48 EMA or 16,130 to 170 level. So that has happened, and we also discussed, this is the video by the way, so this was the video that we uploaded on 3rd of July, right? And this was the move with Elliott Wave that we discussed. It will move upside as ABC correction towards 16,180, which was 0.6 Fibonacci. And after that, if it crosses that, we are heading towards these two levels. Okay, so this has happened, and here you see the chart from the last week that we discussed on 3rd July. So here next levels are these. I think it already has hit this level 16,280, and now we are going to check what is going to happen in a next week. So this is how we discussed in last week. So before we go and discuss the analysis with indicators and Elliott Wave, let's take one famous quote. This is the quote. This quote is actually related to our audience, because I don't see their engagements. YouTube comment section, we don't see their engagement. So to boost the engagement, you should know that this is the quote. The moment you stop asking the questions is the moment you stop learning. So here you have a platform, me or even Raghav, who is specializing on pivots. You can ask questions on the comments or on the channel. Unless you don't ask questions, we will not know, or you will not know the answers to it, or you will have to find on your own. You have to struggle a bit. So it's better to ask the questions and keep learning. So hope you ask the questions in the chat, whatever you have for the next week or even subsequent weeks. So let's move forward now. Let's check the indicators. So here we have indicators on Zerodha. So here I have added 13 EMA, 48, 13 EMA, 48 EMA, and 100 EMA and 200 EMA. So here moving averages are telling us that Nifty has crossed the short-term moving average of 48 EMA, and it could be heading towards long-term moving averages of 100 EMA and 200 EMA. Arrow lines went below 50. So this is a signal of consolidation, and it's not a bullish or a bearish market as of now. Okay. RSI crossed above 50, or it's near to 60. So this indicates a little bit of bullish signal. So yeah, things overall looks to be sideways here. Okay. Though it is an uptrend, it will pull back later on. That's what the arrow indicator tells us. So we have to be mindful about going long, and the move that it has given from lows, it's not qualifying the bullish move. So I would be still skeptical about the break of this particular swing. Okay, so what I'm expecting is it will go like this and then drop on the downside, creating one more low. So one more low is what I'm looking for in the index. So that's all on the indicators. Here you can see I have plotted a resistance as well. So here 16,400 to 430 level is a major resistance which we faced previously, right? During this time it was very tough to break that resistance. Okay, so now we will face a resistance here, probably going like this, and then would drop on the downside. So this is how we are checking the indicators, and this is how we are understanding from the indicators. Moving forward, let's check the Elliott Wave. So these are our previous charts we discussed on 5th June, then 19th June also we spotted the low accurately, and we mentioned that we will push on the upside as a B wave. Then we mentioned on 3rd July this would be the move. Okay, during the last week on a daily analysis or a 1 minute YouTube short, we were not up to the mark. The moves were random as well in the market, and the consolidation, in consolidation you cannot expect a good analysis, because the analysis would go mostly wrong in the consolidation. So yeah, so this was what we expected, and it did break this level, but yeah, it also hit the level, this level. And now what, since it has already crossed this level, we don't know where it will stop. Okay, So but what I'm expecting is it should not break the previous swing high. So what I'm expecting is it should go 200 points more towards 1.600 Fibonacci. So when you plot Fibonacci here on these 3 points Fibonacci extension, when you plot that, you will get these levels. Okay, so these two are hit, and it probably is going to hit the 16,400. Then it would drop on the downside. So what is our view? So next week's view will be like this. Okay, so we are saying that this is wave A, this will be wave B, and this will be wave C. And this waves are this is called as zigzag pattern. Okay, so here A wave is 5-wave structure, so that's why we have to call it as a zigzag wave. It can be flat as well, but the moves here should be 3 waves. So A wave should be 3 waves going on the downside, then B waves 3 waves on the going on the upside. Okay, and then we will have 5 waves going downside as a wave C. So this will be the structure of a flat correction. So here we don't see a 3-wave structure, so that's why I'm assuming it as a zigzag correction ABC on the downside. So it will break this low and will go some more points on the downside. So let's check a better chart. Okay, so from this low, now we'll check the B wave. Okay, we'll check its internal structure. So here on my screen you can see that the market is moving in a small ranges, and it is not looking a bullish pattern. It is taking a lot of time to go higher, so I'm assuming that it is going to break on the downside. So here let's draw a trend line. So when I draw a trend line from here, you need to watch this trend line. Okay, this is very important trend line as far as the market is concerned. So let's say tomorrow if it opens gap down and it breaks this swing, then we have to assume some things. Okay, because the trend line is broken, it would expect it to go drop on the downside. So this low should not be broken. That's what we can assume for now. And you can even see a wedge like structure here, right? You can see a wedge like structure. Oops. Okay, so this is a kind of wedge like structure that we see. So we can say in sense from here that Nifty's moves are getting narrower and narrower going on the upside, and even you can check MACD on hourly chart. Okay, so it's about to break it, but I hope it won't break. Okay, it's more or less on similar line. But yeah, the previous peak is a little bit higher, so this indicates a negative divergence. So there is no strength further to go up. Okay, and the high it has made here, it is lower than that. So what we can assume is it will break this wedge and drop on the downside. So there are almost 200 points left now for Nifty to go upside, and it should drop on the downside. Internal wave structures are not very much clear. What we can assume is this is wave A, this is wave B, and C wave is in progress. Internally it has 1 2 1 2, okay, 3 4 and 5. Okay, so this is how it can go as well. So this is assumption, it's not yet clear because this particular move is just started. So once it finishes, we'll see a significant drop. So here we have to wait for a break of a particular swing, then we can enter, otherwise it will be a very risky. Okay, this is how I see with the Elliott wave. Another more detailed picture is like this. Okay, here you can see a wave W, X, Y, XX are completed, right? So these are the waves that are completed, W, X, Y. Now what we can do is we can assume that the C wave is extending further towards 16,400. It has almost touched this level but dropped sharply. So what I'm assuming is it in the next sessions it should go on the upside. So swings internally of these swings are very tricky to find out and very tricky to update. So you can see here, right? So here you can see wave W, X, and could be a Y wave. Okay, so here we are assuming A, B, and C, but the count looks to be a little bit odd. What I'm going to consider is this is a 5-wave structure, so I'll call this as a wave A. Okay, this as wave B. Okay, and 1 2 3 will change in that case. Okay, so a 4 could be like this, and a 5th could yet to become So the bloodbath should start if it goes above this. So it can be a wedge pattern as well, but we need to be careful going for the wedge pattern. So this is how it can be. Okay, so A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So one more top it can make in the next 1 or 2 sessions and it should drop. So do watch this trend line. Don't jump right away. That's what one thing that you need to remember, because jumping right away costed me almost 10K. I am already on the short side, but that's a wrong entry, you can say, right? So that's a wrong entry for me from me, and we should avoid such entries. So we should wait for break of swings. So whenever you see a negative divergence is getting formed, so you should be careful and we should wait for a break of this swing. So if it opens gap up tomorrow, we should wait for a break of this swing. What is this swing? So this swing is nothing but okay. So this swing is 16,150 level. Okay. So if it opens gap up, okay, you have to wait for some price action to happen, and then you have to wait for a break of this. So this trend line needs to be broken, and here at this point we can say that the trend line has broken and the downside will resume. You will definitely miss some points, but don't worry, you should catch the bigger move, and you should not catch the initial move. I was targeting this, and now I'm sitting on sitting on a 10K loss. Okay, I have 1 or 2 put positions, but they are not moving and they are almost out of the money, and they are deep out of the money now. So we should not hold the options on hope. That's what we can say here. So that's all on the Elliott wave. As I said, there could be 1 or 2 highs pending. Internal count is not so clear. I'll post the chart as I get the clear count. And yeah, 16,400 to 430 levels you can watch. There is a one more resistance as well near 16,490 something. Okay, so 16,490 is a resistance point somewhere near this, or 16,500 even you can assume. From there it should drop. Let's go to the option chain. Here we see that the major support is now 16,000, right, as per the largest number on the put open interest. So this is the major support for the expiry, and as of now 16,200 is a major support. Okay, so but this on the call side, this is the biggest number, right? So this is the biggest number, but what I'm assuming is it would shift upside and make this as a resistance. So 16,500 should become a resistance. Most of the time you would see that in a multiples of 500, the support and resistance will be formed. So 16,500, 16,000 are the major price action. So what I'm expecting is a range for this expiry 16,000 to 16,500. Okay, so this is the range. So if it makes one more top near 16,400 to 500 levels, we can assume that it should dip on the downside, but we should not enter. That's what I said. You should be careful on the entry points. So yeah, option chain also tells us that there was huge put writing. You can see here the number of percentage of increase. Even on this strike, there was 400% rise in put open interest on 16,200. This indicates the bullish bias of the market. And here you can see many strikes where the option chain shows that there was a short covering. Okay, so here you can see, so the shorts on these strikes 15,900, 16,000, 16,100 were changed. Okay, this reduced. This indicates that the market is bullish and the levels are shifting higher. So this indicates a bullishness in the market. So this is how we see the Nifty's move for the next week. We expect Nifty's range to be 16,000 to 16,500 as per the option chain, and as per the price action and Elliott wave, we are expecting a top near 16,400 to 430 levels. If it goes beyond 16,450, we can assume that 490 to 520 levels could be the next resistance, and we do not see here them as a 3-wave structure. Okay, so this cannot be a 3-wave structure. This is a 5-wave structure. So hence it should be a zigzag correction, and it won't go more deeper than 16,400. That's my expectations are. So let me know in the comments, what do you think, how you are expecting next move in the market, and what are your levels. So see you in next video. Thank you. Bye bye.